Good morning, everybody. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. Today will be a musical special where I'll sing all day. No, that's not going to happen. Wow, that would be something, though. Imagine that. Imagine if I did a musical special where I sang everything the entirety of the day. Maybe I'll do that someday. Maybe. But anyway, today will not be that day. Good morning, everyone. How you doing? Hopefully I find you well. Today is Saturday, the 5th of December, 2020. Yes, it is indeed. And it is a full day of gameplay streaming, of course. Good variety of stuff today. Continuing on with my promise to you guys. Playing a lot more, oh, my nose itches. Playing a lot more Yakuza 7 this weekend than I previously would have, and moving it to the main streams so that we can get a lot of progress in the game, okay? So that's what we're focusing on this stream today, and I'm happy about that. Last time around when we played Yakuza 7, we had some pretty good progress, not only in the plot, but unlocking the job classes, I feel is going to add a lot of variety to the game, because now we're unlocking all kinds of new abilities, and it looks like our party is kind of fleshing out a little bit better. Now having two people who can heal the party instead of just one, and some really cool combat abilities. So I'm excited for today. I don't know where the plot is going to go at this point. It seems like we're trying to find, the people responsible for the death of the murder. The death of the murder. We're trying to find the people responsible for the murder of the owner of the soap land that we were working for. And I have no idea where that's going to take us. It seems like the Yakuza plotline of the game has been all but forgotten. Like, I've been playing this game now for about 20 hours, and I'd say the actual Yakuza plotline of the game has not been mentioned in about 14 hours. So, it's obvious, it's pretty obvious we're going to be going off on wild tangents in this game for quite a long time. It is an insanely lengthy JRPG, from what I'm to understand. Some people have played this game for 80 hours and haven't beaten it yet because it has so much side content. Okay? So we'll see what happens today. I'm excited. Yakuza 7 has been a great playthrough so far, and I'm looking forward to a lot more today. I hope you guys are ready for some chill fun on the stream. Okay? Later tonight, we're doing something completely new and different. Later tonight, we're trying out a game called Twin Mirror that came out earlier this week. A narrative-based thriller game. Alright? And this game is made by the makers of Tell Me Why from earlier this year, which I actually really liked, as well as Life is Strange, which is kind of hit or miss. The first Life is Strange was outstanding, and then they had the prequel and sequel, which were not so good. Okay? So I guess we'll have to see what happens with this game tonight as we play it. Alright, pretty interesting to do something different. Alright? Tomorrow will be the conclusion of Demon's Souls, which some people are happy about and some people will be very sad because they've liked seeing me suffer over the last 3 weeks playing this game, but it is time to finish it, to stick a fork in it, as they say. Alright? And tomorrow night we'll do some more Twin Mirror, and then on Monday, more Yakuza 7, and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Alright? Now this coming week, of course, we've got the release of Cyberpunk 2077, which is going to be a major highlight for me. Will not only be playing it on launch day, I'll be playing it all day long. That's what you guys asked for yesterday. So I said, sure, I'll do a double stream of it that day. We'll do 2 streams of Cyberpunk on release day. And then likely it'll be Cyberpunk on the main streams every day, balanced with other stuff at night. And then I'll try to interject some Yakuza in there once or twice during the week as well. Okay? So I hope you guys are excited for all of this coming up. If you all haven't noticed, you guys also now have the ability in the stream chat to nominate games for the upcoming Christmas event. You can type !Christmas in the stream chat, or you can just wait because it'll actually post up the link about every 20 minutes or so automatically. Please, the more games nominated, the better the event will be because I'll have more to work with. Alright, that Christmas event, by the way, is going to be on the 23rd of December. So about 2 weeks from now, a little under 2 weeks from now, actually. Actually, no, wait a minute. Let me do the math here. 2 weeks from now. It's more than 2 weeks from now. I'm off by 10 days in my head. Yeah, it's over 2 weeks from now. A little more than 2 weeks from now. Okay. Also, please pose up your questions for the upcoming episode of Ask the King. This is my Q&A show, and it will be taking place on Christmas Eve, a special Christmas Eve edition of Ask the King, where likely I'll be answering a lot of your questions regarding Christmas and the holidays, but I'm sure there'll be many other questions regarding end-of-year gaming and the like. It should be a good time, okay? So, good stuff coming up, all right? Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. So, this sub drop that I was expecting still hasn't happened. Yeah. You know, this morning I opened Twitch again. I was like, all right, today is the day. I'm going to open up my Twitch. I'm going to see we lost over 100 subs because they were all gifted last month to get the Christmas event happening. And I open it, and nothing. Still no drop. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know when this sub drop's going to happen or not. But basically, here's my attitude. As of tomorrow, sub drop or no, I'm going to set up the sub goal for this month. We're already 5 days into the month. You know, we can't wait much longer. So tomorrow, whether or not we get a sub drop, I will set up a sub goal for the month. The sub goal will be for the retrospective event returning. This means if we hit a certain level of concurrent subscriptions this month, I'll be doing a retrospective marathon event where you guys will get to nominate your favorite moments in the last 12 years of content creation that I've done. And we will go down memory lane in a marathon style setting in order to relive the past. In a lot of cases, I've never gone back and watched this content before. I made it, I published it, and then I moved on because every day I'm putting out so much new content, I really don't have time to really reminisce. So that's what the purpose of this event is. Okay? So, we'll see what happens. All right, we'll see what happens, but hopefully we can hit that goal. Of course, I don't have it set up yet, so I can't even tell you what it's going to be. We got to see what happens tomorrow, okay? So there you go. All right, so outside of all that, guys, right up front, right early on the pre-stream, I want to be honest with all of you. Yesterday really sucked for me, and it had absolutely nothing to do with anything on the streams. The streams were going well. We had a lot of fun with both games that I played. I played Demon's Souls on the first stream, and did I get my butt kicked? Yes, I did. Not surprised, because, of course, that's what Demon's Souls is all about. But we made great progress. I beat multiple bosses. And like I said, I've set myself up for the conclusion of the game on Sunday. Then on the late stream, we played some Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And not only did I complete a major quest line that was pretty interesting, but then we went into a new quest line that is taking us to Asgard. And that's not a spoiler. I mean, the game's been out for 3 weeks. I had no idea in this game that you actually go to Asgard. I didn't know that the game was going to act like it's real, but it does. So that was interesting. Actually interacting with gods from Norse mythology and stuff. And people are saying it's going to be a pretty lengthy part of the game, like, you know, many hours in Asgard doing side quests and the like. So I'm excited for more of that, honestly. But anyway, streaming-wise, all right, it was a great day. We had fun on both streams. It was a good time. But behind the scenes, not so much. Because yesterday, I received so many chargebacks behind the scenes, it negated what I made on the streams. And, you know, I'm not exaggerating here. It literally negated any contributions that I got on my streams yesterday. That's how many chargebacks came in. Now, the thing is, the good news is this is actually not as bad as it's been. It actually was way worse at one point. But I've been able to kind of at least put on a frontline defense here. When these fake tips are coming in, I usually can identify them and either screen. You guys know I screen them now. If I see a tip that's in a regular's name, I usually will ask around and say, is this regular here? Who is this person? And if they're not there to confirm that it's a tip from them, I refund it immediately. I usually am able to, you know, stop that problem from happening on the back end. The problem is, it's not always that easy. There's people who come in here and, you know, it's a name that I don't recognize. And a lot of these contributions are small that are now being charged back. And those are more easy to slip through the cracks. Okay, now, it just sucks because I've been getting like one a day, a couple a day. And they're very small. And it's not a big deal, okay? But yesterday sucked ass, okay? Yesterday, I streamed. I had tons of fun streaming. And we had great streams together. I did raise stuff on the streams. It wasn't that you guys didn't contribute. You did. But it was all negated by chargebacks. That's not cool. Putting out a full day of fun gameplay and work, honestly, and getting nothing for it. Imagine you went to work one day and, you know, you felt like you did a lot of great productive stuff, and you get told, well, you're just not getting paid for today. Oh, thanks. Sounds great, right? And again, it's not even that the people who enjoyed your content did contribute. It was taken from you by a scumbag. Okay? Pretty fucked up. So, I'm not going to dwell on this all day long. I'm not. But I'm just being honest and upfront with you guys like I always am. Yesterday sucked because of that. Today, it would be nice if I could make up some of that, considering I'm a whole day in the hole here for the week. If you cheer, sub, or tip today, it'll contribute, it'll crowdfund, it'll help me very much. All right? And I appreciate anyone who contributes to the stream today in any way, shape, or form. All right? Obviously, as I've told you guys, tips are preferred. When you tip me, that means I get those funds immediately, and I can put it towards important stuff. You know, last night I dropped some money on Twin Mirror. Later this week I'll be buying Cyberpunk. Coming up on Tuesday, I have a lot of shopping I need to do. I'm actually going to begin to look for things for the upcoming Christmas marathon, including, you know, some kind of a holiday item for DSP Tries It, as well as some, you know, holiday brews or liquor or something to drink during that stream. You know, so your support during the streams via tipping helps with that kind of stuff. All right? So I would appreciate it if you did contribute. Thank you very much. Now, by the way, cheering, subbing, also great ways to contribute. The only reason that I say that I prefer tips is because tips it helps me right now. I can spend it on something immediately that I need. Cheering and subbing, I don't get any positive benefit from those for at least a month. There's like a month waiting time, processing time, before I get any positive benefit from those methods of contribution. I'm still very, very appreciative of anyone who cheers or subs. It helps a lot. It really does. But, you know, it's the tipping that right now would help me in the short term, especially to make up for the fact that yesterday got completely countered by bullshit. Okay? So, thank you in advance, anyone. I would say this. If you like my content, if you like me, if you appreciate what I do, that I'm a true independent, that I don't have sponsorship from anyone, I don't do any paid advertisement content, I don't have an exclusive streaming contract with Twitch to make money behind the scenes. Literally what you contribute is what I make for a living, all right? And I'm super appreciative that for 12 years, you guys have told me on a daily basis that you like what I do and you want me to continue doing it. Thank you for that. I love doing the way that I do it. Very different from a lot of other people who do this for a living, right? But that being said, it's all because of you guys, and I do rely on your support. Right now in particular, I need it more today than usual because yesterday was such a bad day for me, all right? So if you can contribute today, please do, and thank you in advance. Please keep in mind that contributions are not mandatory on my streams. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to stream and enjoy games and have fun social interactions with you guys. It's more of a, even though, yes, it's important to make progress in these ongoing playthroughs, it's just as important to have a good time with you guys. You know what I mean? That's why I stream, because people tell me every day that what I do is meaningful to them. Okay? So that being said, that's what I'm here for. If you can't contribute, don't feel bad. I don't ever want someone to feel bad because they can't contribute during one of my streams, ever. And sometimes people will apologize. Oh, I can't contribute today. Never apologize. It's not what this is about, all right? It's seriously not. It's not anyone's fault if you can't contribute or whatever. You don't have to feel guilty. It's nothing to do with that at all, all right? But if you can and you like the content, by all means, please do. It is greatly appreciated. That's how I keep stuff going. And I really need the help today in particular because of what a shit day yesterday was. Fair enough? Okay. Let us now move on. Gaming news. There really isn't that much. There's really not much to talk about today in the realm of gaming news. I was checking all the different trends and everything. A lot of people are still talking to me about yesterday's news, which I don't really want to talk about yesterday's news. You know, Cyberpunk right around the corner. A lot of people are excited about this already. The rumor is there will be a 46 gigabyte patch for the game on day one. Now, if you preload the game, you'll likely have that patch already. But it's funny, you know, people getting, once again, getting their game disc, which means absolutely nothing. A game disc is useless in 2020. A game disc is not the full game. Ever. Ever. You buy the game disc, it's like, what was it, game was it? I think someone said it was Assassin's Creed or something like that, where like only 20% of the game was actually contained on the game disc. The rest was all a digital download. So, you know, outside of, okay, I'm going to trade in, you know, this game relatively quickly to try to get some trade back value for it, which is what I used to do. Remember, when I was a YouTuber, exclusively back in the day, and I didn't do these interactive live streams, it was all about pushing through a game as soon as I possibly could. All right? So I would get a new release. In a lot of cases, within 2-3 days, I would have beaten that game already, regardless of how long the game was. Okay? Now, keep in mind, I'll be honest, 10 years ago, I had no life. I didn't. I had no personal life. I didn't have a family or anything like that. I was solo, living alone, and so I was able to sit down and play a new release for like 12 hours in one day. Like, seriously, I could put out that much video content in a single day. And back then, no one complained. Everyone said, hey, the more the merrier. So I would get a new release and sit there and play it like crazy marathon. You know, and I would end up beating games in about, like I said, on average, within a week, I almost always would complete a new release. It would be a rarity that I wouldn't have completed a new release title within, say, a week. And back then, things were very different with the way trade-ins worked at places like GameStop. Back then, GameStop used to have these trade-in promotions where it would be like, if you trade in a new release within the first week it's out, you get bonus credit. If you trade in multiple games at the same time, you get bonus credit. If you're part of their discount club, which, what did they call it? I can't even remember what it was called anymore. It was GameStop's, not an Insider Club. I can't even remember. Power Up Rewards, that's what it was called. If you were part of the Power Up Rewards Club, you get more bonus trading credit. So basically, if you beat a bunch of new release games within a week of their release and you traded them all in at once, you could get, like, not exaggerating, 50, sometimes 60% of trade-in value back. So imagine paying $60 for a new release game, beating it in a week, and then getting $40 back. So you basically rented the game for a week for $20, right? That's how it was going back then. But that was a long time ago. That was 10 years ago. All right, today, trade-in values are abysmally bad. I mean, you're talking buy a new release, trade it in for like $15 within a few days. So I really don't see the value anymore in physical discs, just being honest. And I'm someone who was completely the opposite at one point. But things have just changed so differently. As I said, right now, when you buy a new game, you unbox it. There's nothing to unbox. There's nothing in the box at all. It's just the disc, no instructions, nothing else. You pop it in your console. Oh, well, installing from the disc, but now has to download a giant 50 gig day one patch because you didn't really get the game on the disc. It's basically worthless. So, in the case of Cyberpunk, I am not shocked in any way, shape, or form that this game has a giant patch. In fact, it was almost guaranteed. Why? Because if you remember, the game went gold, meaning they manufactured these discs months ago, but then they delayed the game again. You see? So once they delayed the game again, you knew any content that they were adding to the game or fixing was going to be a digital download. So this is not shocking in any way, shape, or form. This was to be expected that this was going to happen. Okay? So, yeah, get ready. Get your hard drives ready. For me, I just looked at my hard drive the other day on PlayStation 5, and it said that I had about 300 gigs free. It said Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was 150 of those fucking gigs. Okay? Pretty crazy, huh? 150 of the gigs. Half of the hard drive space I'm using on PS5 is Call of Duty. Alright? I'm going to guess, when all things are said and done, probably Cyberpunk's going to end up being like 75 to 100 gigs. Right? The good news is there's not a ton more games coming out for the rest of this year. Once I beat Twin Mirror, I could probably delete it easily. You know, there's a few games here I'm going to be finishing up. Obviously, I'm going to finish up. I'm going to finish up Demon Souls tomorrow. And that'll be one that I delete as well. I should be fine. You know, a lot of people were very concerned about hard drive space on the PlayStation 5. which is a valid concern. If you're someone who likes to store a bunch of games at once, this could be a big problem, especially if you don't have good internet or slower internet. And, for example, Cyberpunk is going to be such a big download day one. Now, can you imagine you need to delete Cyberpunk to make room for other games, but then you need to re-download it again later? How long is it going to take to re-download, right? But for me, so far, it hasn't been an issue yet. Even with all the games I've been playing on PS5, it hasn't been an issue yet, but I've been careful about it. I just deleted Spider-Man Miles Morales, excuse me, as well as Astro's Playroom for my PS5 to make more room for Twin Mirror and Cyberpunk this week. And then, of course, later this month, I may play games like Immortal Phoenix Rising and stuff like that. So, yeah, so far, so good. Outside of that, it was pretty funny. There was someone posted up, today is the 1 year anniversary. Oh, I think it might actually be more than 1 year, but the release of Mario and Sonic at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games, the game that was created for the Olympic Games that didn't happen. Pretty funny. It's like, damn, they actually made a video game a year early to the Olympic Games, and then the games didn't ever happen, so it's basically a phantom game, right? It's an anomaly. I'm trying to think what else. Is there anything else I want to... Like I said, there really wasn't much game news today at all. It just seemed like today was a more stagnant day. I will just say this, because I just tweeted about this before I started the stream today, all right? It's funny, in Game Awards season, we got all these digital awards that are going on right now on the internet that no one ever heard of. And now we got the official Game Awards on the 10th, the same day as Cyberpunk's release, which is silly because who's going to be paying attention to it when they're playing Cyberpunk? Nobody, right? But anyway, all that being said, okay, I am beginning now to look at all the games that I played this year, because keep in mind, likely in early January, I'm going to be doing my own Game Awards, where it's the most disappointing games of 2020 and the best games of 2020 countdowns that I always do, okay? And so looking at these awards that I'm going to be doing, I'm trying to look at games for like, gee, what was the best gameplay of this year? What was the best story of this year? Okay? So I'm looking at all of this stuff. And, looking at all this, and I'm like, wait a minute. Out of all the games I've played this year, honestly, there's a few that definitely stand out in my mind. Okay? There's a few that kind of like, oh, wow, this game was outstanding. That game was... But when and this is no exaggeration. I'm not memeing here, guys. I'm being honest with all of you. Okay? So please listen up, because some people still think I'm joking to this day when I talk about this, and I'm not. Okay? When I'm thinking in perspective about all the games that I've played this year, the game that to me was the most shockingly good game of 2020 so far, because again, I don't know, there's a few games I haven't played yet. The most shockingly good game of 2020 was Bugsnax. Right? This was a game that everyone memed about all year. We all joked about it, that it was going to be game of the year. We all made fun of it because it looks like an oddball, cutesy game. Might be like Pokemon, eating frickin' things. It's so weird. Bugsnax was genuinely one of the best games I've played this year for multiple reasons, but primarily because the story was outstanding. It had great writing. It had great characters with their own unique character traits and, quite frankly, deficiencies. These characters grew over the course of the game. Okay? I'm shocked how good Bugsnax was. Now, did Bugsnax break the mold in regards to the core gameplay mechanics of the game? Not really. What it was basically catching bugs, which each one was a little mini puzzle. But the puzzles were fun. Alright? Not to say that it's, oh my god, it's groundbreaking, riveting gameplay. If you don't like that kind of puzzle gameplay, you probably hate Bugsnax. Alright? But I played the game and loved it. And recently, my wife and I watched a playthrough of this game after I beat it, and she loved it. She was like, I can't believe this game was that. Was that. She's like, she made fun of the game all year long with me. And then when I said, when I beat it, I was like, you've got to see this game. I couldn't believe how good it was. And she watched it with me. She goes, those were some of the most realistic characters I've seen in a game recently. Like, actual characters who had personality deficiencies, right? people who realized that they had flaws in their character, and then they grew over the course of the game to the point at the end of the game, a lot of them come to realizations and they become better people. I was like, yeah, you know, that's kind of what you would like in a good story. And it's funny, when you look at the rest of the games that we've played this year, okay? Can you even say that for most of the games? And again, I'm not going to harp on Last of Us 2, because you guys already know I hated the story of Last of Us 2. But yeah, Bugsnax's story is actually better than The Last of Us 2. 100%. The storytelling elements it uses, the pacing the game uses, the character development is all better than The Last of Us 2. It's also better than most games this year. Like, no lie. That's the story. I would say, out of all the games I've played, now keep in mind, I'm in the middle of many games. You know, Yakuza 7, Assassin's Creed. These are games that I can't really 100% say anything about yet because I'm still playing them. Okay? But, in regards to the games that I've completed this year, alright, I would probably say, you know, Ghost of Tsushima, arguably so far has had the best story overall. And then Bugsnax would probably be second. Like, seriously. Like, Ghost of Tsushima had very meaningful characters. You get to learn their stories. They develop over time. They have different parts of their personality that you appreciate when these characters either get hurt or you know, you care about them. And Bugsnax is actually exactly the same. You know? So, the thing that gets me, alright? So, all these awards are going on. We just had some weird golden joystick awards. Things I never heard of. Things no one fucking cares about, honestly. Game Awards are next week, of course. As I said many times, the Game Awards are not official. People should not judge the Game Awards as if they're official, but they do anyway because they're stupid and very small-minded. But anyway, with all these shows going on, no one has actually mentioned Bugsnax in any capacity. And I'm like, did anyone actually play it? That's what I've got to ask. Was it that these games journalists that are part of the jury for these things, isn't it funny that no one's talking about a game that actually has one of the best plots of 2020? They just glossed over it because, oh, it's a kiddie game, right? No, if anything, what that shows me, all right, what that shows me, no, it didn't, Golden Colt. He says it came out after the qualifying date. That's incorrect. It did not. Because Spider-Man Miles Morales was eligible for all these as well and actually is nominated. Okay? But you know what it tells me? It tells me that when it comes to games journalism, all right, basically, you know, whatever's convenient or whatever pushes your ongoing success is what you promote as the best. It not necessarily, it doesn't, like, what would anyone have to gain by saying that Bugsnax is a great game this year? Oh, it looks cutesy, it's for kids, everyone already wrote it off and memed about it all year. When it came out, no one really talked about it. Why? Because everyone was playing all the other launch titles for PS5, so basically Bugsnax got brushed under the rug, and no one really talked about it, right? True. Does that mean the game's bad? No, and if you're a games journalist, you would probably be your responsibility to play the game and be like, okay, well, actually, here's what it really is, and expose that. No one's talking about it. It's like the game doesn't exist. Seriously, like, people memed about Bugsnax more earlier this year than actually when the game came out. Because when the game came out, they were, oh, fuck, this game's actually a real game that's fun and has great writing. Well, oh well, it's award season. Let's talk about The Last of Us 2 and release another trailer for it. What? But that's what's happened. That's actually what's happened. I'm not seeing any honesty out of the game's media about this game at all. Let's just ignore it like it doesn't exist so that we can push our own agendas. And it pisses me off. It does. Because this game is great. Like, I played it. I absolutely loved it. Watch a playthrough with my wife. She loves it. And she was totally against it. Thought it was a stupid idea, stupid game. And she watched it like, this is fucking good. Right? And now, no one will care. And people, every day, people ask me, is it good? Should I play it? Yes. Yes. Yes, it's good. It's a really good game, dude. I'm not memeing. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to fuck around. It's actually legit one of my favorite games of this year. But no one will talk about it. Right? At least no one in prominent position out there will talk about it in the games media because how does it benefit them? Right? So, for me, it's pretty, I'm not going to say it's upsetting. It's just disappointing because once again, We're in a situation where I hate the mainstream games media. I really feel that they don't do a good job. They don't. They're still fucking talking about The Last of Us 2 this week as if it's pertinent. A game that's been done with for months and months and months. It's the best game of the year. Look, here's some new art that someone put out, and here's that. Shut the fuck up. The game's done with. We're playing tons of new shit right now. We don't need to be talking about The Last of Us 2 constantly, but you are. They won't shut up about it. It's like people are like, I can't wait for the Game Awards to be done, because then we won't have to hear about The Last of Us 2 anymore. Guys, it's not over. You don't seem to understand. You really don't. Neil Druckmann just got promoted to be the co-president of Naughty Dog because they feel he did such a good job with this game. Okay? You have to understand this now. This is not going to go away. This is going to be something we're going to have to just fucking put up with constantly. Constantly. These people will not let it go. They literally have brainwashed themselves into a fervor thinking that The Last of Us 2 is actually one of the best games ever made. They actually believe that. They never sat down to objectively weigh the game against other games. They just have created this cult mentality that this is one of the best games ever made. And it's 100%, I believe it's going to win Game of the Year at the Game Awards. I don't think there's another game that has a chance. Although, if you look at the fan voting right now, actual gamers who spent money on games and then played them instead of people who got everything for fucking free and had an agenda to push, gamers are overwhelmingly saying Ghost of Tsushima is the best game of the year. In the polls right now, it's leading by several percentage points over The Last of Us 2. So regardless of the fact that this cult mentality has been created, sadly for them, there's more people who are intelligent. It's just that they get drowned out because sadly, if someone doesn't like The Last of Us 2, it means that you're a bigot, right? If I say that Bugsnax is a better plot and has better storytelling elements than The Last of Us 2, it must mean that I'm a bigot, right? Because that's what I'm told on social media all the time. But anyway, that's what I feel like. Number one, it is going to win 100%. The Last of Us 2 is going to win Game of the Year. There's no doubt about it because the jury already gave the game 10 out of 10 review scores. So, of course, the games media jury are going to say it's the best game of the year, even though it's objectively not. And it's not going to go away. Now Neil Druckmann is in charge of Naughty Dog, so you're just going to hear the same shit. It's going to be constant horse shit that we're going to have to fucking put up with as part of the game's community. It's going to be very hard to drown it out when every time you go on social media, you're going to have the same brainwashed idiots saying the same shit. Okay? Just tired of it, you know? And it's true. I didn't like the game's plot. I liked a lot of the game elements of it. I just don't want to think about it anymore. I can't stop. It's all over everywhere online. They won't shut the fuck up about this game. Will Cyberpunk maybe kill some of this? Maybe. Maybe if Cyberpunk comes out this week and is actually so good, like everyone's expecting it to be, maybe we'll finally drown out some of this bullshit. Alright? Maybe. But, I don't know. Okay. Anyway, now I went on my rant. Now we can move on, right? Wow. That was really revolting. I'm very sorry, everyone. Absolutely disgusting coffee burp. I had coffee this morning. Okay. Alright. Let us... What the hell did I just click? Huh? Oh, okay. Never mind. I clicked way too far down and went zoop, and it skipped a ton of shit, and I was like, oh god, what did I do? No, okay, it's fine. Alright. Shout out, guys. We're going to start with shout outs. Ready? And again, thank you to anyone who contributes today. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to make up for yesterday being a terrible day because of chargeback. So please, if you can, please contribute today. I would really appreciate that. Tips are preferred. Alright? Tips are preferred, but if you cheer your sub, everything helps. Okay? Alright. Fantasy Star PG cheered overnight, and he said, Phil Spencer stated the only way Microsoft can buy ZeniMax Studios is if the courts deem it not a monopoly on gaming because they've already acquired so many studios recently. I think it would be a monopoly 100% because Obsidian is making Avowed and Outer Worlds 2, Ninja Theory is making Hellblade 2, and a new horror IP, Playground Games, Horizon 5 and Fable, Undead Labs, State of Decay 3. With a new studio, The Initiative, coming soon, they should also be able to buy ZeniMax, but we know how seriously the government takes gaming. I don't know. I don't know if it would be a monopoly. It would certainly would be one hell of a gaming monster. All right. And really the question here, all right, the question here that I have is how soon till we see a benefit from that, right? Because even though Microsoft owns all these studios, there were no games for the launch of Xbox Series X. Let's hope for the best. Let's actually hope that in the next 2-3 years we start seeing a slew of awesome first-party titles from Microsoft. I would be happy with that. I would actually be quite pleased because I couldn't tell you the last time I played an exclusive IP that I was blown away. Gears 5, it was okay. The plot was pretty good. Multiplayer I didn't really care for. Halo has sucked for years, right? And can you even tell me another major Microsoft exclusive game franchise that, you know, makes waves or anyone really cares about, right? I couldn't. Okay, that's a good one. Expand Dog did call me. I said Forza. You're right. I would say Forza, the standard Forza games, and also Forza Horizon. That's actually a pretty good first-party studio. I've enjoyed the last 2 Forza Horizon games very much. I thought they were great games. So you're right in that regard. But outside of that, it's like we're all kind of waiting for the games to come out from all these studios they bought. I don't know if it would be a monopoly. There's so much competition. There's seriously so much competition in this day and age that I don't know if buying ZeniMax would be considered a monopoly. ZeniMax is huge, though. A lot of people don't realize how big ZeniMax is. They're both a game conglomerate and a gaming media conglomerate. ZeniMax owned a lot of the major games media. I think they own EGM, or they did own Electronic Gaming Monthly, among many other like gaming publications and things. So I don't know how much that would affect stuff. Okay. Okay. Golden Colts. Cheers. It said, your hair is so thick and luscious. Do you do something like condition it by letting it sit saturated with olive oil for a few hours? Yes. What I do is I actually take my homemade Italian sauce and I put it directly, I comb it directly into my hair. I slick it in and I slick it back like the Fonz. And, you know, really the acidity of the tomatoes really just absorbs in so nicely. It gives it that perfect sheen. No. The truth of the matter is that it is my Italian heritage in me. You know, my mother is 50% Italian. And because of that, that quarter Italian that I am makes my hair like it is. Thick and greasy. Thick and greasy. Yeah. When I wake up in the morning, usually my hair is sticking straight up. Because when I lay down on my pillow, my hair is so thick and greasy that it just forms these weird shapes as I sleep. And when I wake up, my hair is sticking straight up. All I need to do is I have a brush, a hairbrush, and I wet the brush. And then I brush my hair back. And that's it, you know. That's all I have to do. I don't have to do anything else. It's that simple. There you go. Okay. Golden Cold cheered again. He said, disclaimer, no homo. Too late. Golden Cold cheered again. He says, chat user Puricato is always here to comment on my overnight cheers. I think he's your #1 fan. Okay, great. Don't know what that's supposed to be. Thank you for the cheers. Fantasy Star PG did another overnight cheer. He says, a follow-up to my first comment. If Microsoft wants to buy AA studios like Asobo Studios, because Flight Simulator got great reviews, have at it. Make a Plague Tale 2 on Xbox, or make it an Xbox exclusive. Same with Bloober Studio and The Medium. But I feel that Sony or Microsoft shouldn't make a major publisher off the market, and Sony should let 343 Industries and the Coalition make new IPs before they buy new studios. That's a complaint gamers have with Microsoft for years. So what you're saying is don't buy a new studio, let the existing studio make new IPs, new games, new game series. That's interesting. Maybe it just is that a franchise like Gears or a franchise like Halo is so important to them that they don't mind having an entire studio only working on one game, right? Although I'm not exactly sure how that's working with Halo being so bad when they previewed it. And, you know, what's funny to me, when they showed that Halo Infinite gameplay over the summer, all right, my initial reaction within that day when I watched it back the second time was, wow, that looks like shit. Because when you watch it in action the first time at 60 frames per second, you're not noticing. Then when you watch it back the second time and you start to look at it closely, like, wow, that actually does look like shit. Like, everything here is poorly rendered and looks like, it really does look like trash. Like, it looks like, certainly doesn't look next gen, right? It doesn't look like anything that we're now experiencing on, say, PS5. And I said that, and people at first were, like, making fun of me. And then within 2 days, the entire internet made a meme about how bad it was. Anyway, yeah, Phantasy Star, what I would say my take is, I don't think that Microsoft wants to spread themselves too thin with their studios. Like, if they took the Coalition off of doing Gears and told them to make a new IP, well, when the hell would the next Gears game come out? The Gears games already take 2-3 years to come out. And maybe they don't want that much of a lag. Maybe they're realizing that let's be honest here. Again, Microsoft is not putting out many great games under these exclusive studios. So they got to keep the studios that are at least putting out semi-decent games to at the very least keep putting out those games, right? Darkside Elon cheered. And he says, if big highlight channels demonetize their content, would you view them differently? Wouldn't it be free advertisement for the streams then? If I was a Twitch streamer, I'd like videos of me getting thousands of views daily, sending people to my Twitch. Allow me to clarify something. All right? Phil of 2020 is not the same of Phil of 2012. A lot has changed in the last 8 years since This Is How You Don't Play started on YouTube. I really don't give two shits if people make This Is How You Don't Play videos. Why would I care about that? You know? Everyone says I suck at games. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Here's what I do care about. Actual hurtful slander. Meaning, these people who think that they're funny, saying shit about my family members, my wife, making shit up about me abusing my cat, right? Saying really fucked up things that are not true at all. Zero substantiation. But they have made that into an actual part of their content, like a meme that runs through their content. That's not funny. There's a difference between Phil sucks at games and let's highlight all the times that Phil's terrible on his streams and bad at games. That's fine. That's content that I've put out there. That's 100% truthful because it's there in front of you, right? Even if you show it out of context, for example, there are very much people who will act like when I play a From Software game, that all I do is fail. Here's Phil every death from Demon Souls. And they'll just show the deaths. They won't show, okay, here's a boss he beat on the first shot. Here's when he got through an area, growl, he was parrying well at the beginning of the playthrough and all that. They won't show any of that. They'll just show the bad parts. Is that misrepresentative of my content? Yes. But at the very same time, okay, at the very same time, when you make a This Is How You Don't Play video, the people who are watching it should be smart enough to realize that's what the video is. It's a highlight of the worst moments. Okay? You see? So that being said, okay, you want to highlight the worst of me, go ahead. But then don't make shit up. And that's the problem. That's where I feel these people who make negative content about me constantly, that's what they don't understand. I'll give you a perfect example here. Earlier this year with the whole bankruptcy thing, all right, that was something that was very painful to me. That was something that was personal, that I didn't want it to go public. It had to go public because there were going to be public documents. And, of course, people were going to get wind of it, meaning I'm a public personality, right? I have a private life, but sadly, when you do file something for bankruptcy, it goes public. So people were going to know about this no matter what, all right? But the fact that people made up so much fake shit about me, there was no basis, factual basis, for the shit people were making up about me. They literally fabricated insane stories about me and then sent those stories to the parties involved in my bankruptcy to try to get the bankruptcy not to go through. All right, I just want you to think about this for a second. How crazy that is. Now, I'm not saying, by the way, that it was the highlight channels that did that. It's not the people who make the negative content about me on YouTube who did that specifically. But you have to understand something. When your channel constantly slanders someone, lies about someone, or just pushes conspiracy theories without a factual basis, when all you do is sit there and make drama content about someone, there are dumb people. There are dumb people out there who believe it as a fact. okay? There are dumb-ass people who are so gullible, they won't understand that you're just memeing. They won't understand that you're trying to make a joke on someone's expense to get by yourself, all right? And I mean that. There are some people who actually think everything you say is true. And those people will then take the shit that you're pushing and they'll try to fuck with people's lives. That's exactly what happened to me. Do I think that it was LSB or Tevin or, you know, any of these people, the other guys, Soma Julius Cruz, where the fuck these people are? I don't even know. I just know their names because people repeat them like parrots in my chat. Do I believe that it was those people who specifically took their conspiracy theories about me and sent them to the people involved in my bankruptcy case to try to fuck my life over? No. I don't think that happened at all. I think what happened is they thought it was funny. They thought, oh man, look, I'm getting extra viewers on my streams the more drama I talk about, so let's just blow this story up. And then they got other people involved. They got internet lawyers and shit involved to try to talk about it. Everyone was fucking full of shit. Everyone just speculated with no facts, okay, for their own personal gain for like 3 months. It was like the hot topic of these idiots was to completely slander me and make shit up about me. And it really screwed me over this year. Like, I talked about this in my Thanksgiving video in detail, okay? But it really hurt me this year because it drew out my bankruptcy proceeding way longer than it should have been. It cost me money, all right, that I didn't have to spend. I had to spend to keep going because of this, all right? And they don't care, though, because they made out. They had months of content, months of memes, months of income from a bunch of drama queen idiot viewers, so they don't care that it actually hurt me to do the shit that they did, all right? And that's where if there's a difference between, I don't like Phil, so I'm just going to make this is how you don't play, make fun of his gameplay. Fine. You want to make highlights of stupid shit I do on my streams? That's public shit that I put out there. Go ahead and do it, all right? You want to say I'm terrible at games and make a highlight montage of me sucking at Demon Souls? Go right ahead. But the moment you talk about my family, who's not involved in my content, the moment you go behind the scenes of my streams and you try to pull shit out of thin air that's not true, but you push it as some kind of fact, even though it's just some weirdo conspiracy theory, you've actually gone to the realm of, what do they call it? It's not a psychopath, it's a sociopath. You only care about getting yourself over and making out for yourself, and you don't care about who else you hurt doing that. I was concretely hurt earlier this year by these people doing fucked up stuff, making stuff up about me and my family members. And it took time, money, stress. It took a lot out of me earlier this year. It really did, to be able to survive that. A lesser person maybe wouldn't have been able to. It was not easy. I was completely stressed out to my wit's end. I thought that I was possibly going to lose everything in my life. Everything. I could have lost everything. Okay? Because of you people who did that. All right? You people who did that shit. You don't understand how much that takes out of someone. You don't. You just think, it's Phil. Whatever. Make fun of him, meme on him. You know, fuck that. Dude, you hurt me. Why? What did I ever do to fucking you, man? This year, I'm trying to help these people out. These people are getting false copyright strikes, DMCA takedowns. I'm trying to do what I can to go out of my way to help these people so that they don't lose their YouTube channels, they don't lose their Twitter accounts. If I have an opportunity to counter something, like when YouTube writes me an email and says, was this you? I say, no, stop this immediately. I made how many public statements and posts saying it's not me, stop it. I'm trying to actually help the fucking people who earlier this year tried to actually hurt me through their actions. And again, do they think that it actually hurts me? No. They think, oh, the life's all jokes, man. Life's just a joke. So meme it up, and it doesn't matter what we do. We have no responsibility for anything, right? As long as we had some fun streams and fun videos and we made money on it, who cares who it hurts, right? That's being a sociopath. And that's how these people are. They ignore morality because it benefits them. So Darkside Elon, I don't give two shits about the highlight channels existing. Let them exist. I could have myself tried to strike these channels down many, many years ago if I really cared about it that much. I don't do it. I don't care. Let them exist and do whatever they want. It's very true. There are people on a daily basis come in here and say, wow, Phil, I actually checked out your content for the first time because someone was making fun of you. But then I came over here and actually I like your stuff and now I'm a fan, right? This happens every day. I hear someone talking like that. That's cool, man. I appreciate that. I do. That someone actually gave me a shot when all they were doing was watching someone shitting on me constantly, and then they realized maybe all that's not so true. Okay? But there comes a point when that kind of activity, when it crosses a line, is actually hurting me. And when, again, personal shit about my family members behind the scenes has nothing to do whatsoever with my content, or conspiracy theories and slander based on no actual concrete facts but just speculation, but it's pushed as fact. Those things hurt me badly. Badly. And they don't realize that because they don't care. All I care about is the money they made doing it. And that's where I draw the line. All right? So that's why I haven't shut any of them down. That, you know, why, Phil, why don't you just shut all those detractors down? Because I don't fucking care. Let them do what they want. I just wish they would grow up and actually have a conscience and realize that, you know, there's a line that you don't cross, right? Sir Spartan King Judy says, oh no, when you said tell me why, that popped into my head was the Backstreet Boys song you kept singing during the playthrough. Damn it, Phil. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Thank you for the cheer. Hatebreed 896 did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you for that. Darkside Elon did a 200-bit cheer, and that's actually the biggest cheer of the day so far. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Fuck. He says, give Ciara Bahiana a shout out. All right, shout out. There you go. Tizwaz subscribed for 7 months. Thank you, Tizwaz, for 7 months of support. I appreciate that. Excuse me. Dr. Ratcha02 did a 100-bit cheer and says, hey, Phil, first time donator. Sucks that you've gotten chargebacks. Let the fun begin with Yakuza. Thank you very much, Dr. Ratchet. I appreciate that. Darkside Elon cheered again. He said, can you give my brother's Ratty Bag? Hey there, babe. PW Dubs, Sir Spartan King, and Lean and Go Squeak a shout out. Sure. Shout out. Dookie Bricks just subscribed. That's disgusting, but thank you for the sub. The She-Wolf X just cheers at Hype Train. Yes, so there was a Hype Train that happened during the pre-stream, but I missed it because I was talking about other topics. But there was a Hype Train that happened, and thanks to everyone who did contribute to it. Darkside Elon cheered and said, fuck the detractors. She-Wolf X cheered again and said, choo-choo. Internet famous McCroy gifted a sub to no chargeback. Sir Spartan King cheered. He said, watch out, we got a Hype Train on the loose. Randy O'Butternut gifted a subscription to Star Wars Nerd 7979. Congratulations. Thank you for the support there. Dookie Bricks did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you for the cheer. Tizwaz gifted a sub to Kami Comic 33. Congratulations, Kami Comic. Thank you, Tizwaz. Darkside Elon gifted a sub to Lean and Go Squeak. Congratulations, Lean and Go Squeak. Thank you, Darkside Elon. Snow Carl tipped me $1, and he suggested something really stupid, and I'm not even going to read it. I'm sorry, I'm just not. It's dumb. Tizwaz gifted a subscription to Bug Snacks Rules. Thank you to Tizwaz and Bug Snacks Rules. Congratulations. Big Bad Buffoon tipped me $1. Said, I went on the PlayStation Store. They now have a category to buy games that are nominated for the awards on December 10th. It has Cyberpunk listed in the category, but the game comes out on the same day as the awards. How can it be nominated? It's not. Sounds to me like Sony just did whatever they wanted, because the game has already been stated it's not eligible for the awards. It would be in next year's awards. So there you go. Dream Cream 84 tipped me $10. Thank you, Dream Cream 84. Not sure what that name means. But I'll write it down anyway. Dream Cream 84. A $10 tip. So that means we're up to $12 in tips right now, and I can update the leaderboard. All right, and he says, I was one of your earlier viewers here, and I don't really watch it that much anymore, but I am wishing you the best. Have a great time today, Phil. Thank you very much to Dream Cream for the top tip. Internet famous McCroy cheers. How's the future of gaming going to handle massive digital file sizes? Are we going to be streaming like Google Stadia? Are we going to replace physical copies of games with external hard drives? Both. I get the feeling there'll be local storage as well as while internet improves. And again, we're still a ways out from this, from having this work. Eventually, you would think everything will be just streamed over the internet. But we need to have internet infrastructure be better. And also, we need to have these small amount of companies stop controlling the monstrous amount of internet that they do. Right now, Comcast, Cox, Cablevision, they have a large stranglehold on customers in the United States in their local regions. Right now, where I live, right now in Washington State, there is no other internet service I can get besides Comcast who will provide me with consistent enough internet and, enough data to do what I do. Because I have the business level Comcast internet, I get incredibly good speeds for streaming, and I get unlimited data, which I need, obviously. If I didn't have Comcast, there's no other company that will do that for me. I actually have no options, zero. So it's Comcast or nothing, you see? And that's the problem. It's like this in a lot of places. In the United States, we don't have free and open competition for internet. You don't get equivalent performance from varied companies. And because of that, you just have to go with what's the best, and that's bad. How can we have games that are ginormous games be live streamed over the internet via Google Stadia when you have a data cap that within 3 days of the month you're already exceeding, and now you have to pay $4,000 for your internet this month? Right? So, it just doesn't make sense that we're pushing towards that yet. If we have to improve the internet infrastructure in the United States, make it more widespread available, great internet to more people, and then also we need to have better regulation of how the internet is being sold and how it's performing. When we lost net neutrality, what was it, earlier this year? I think it was early 2020, but who knows, because it was before the pandemic, so we all forgot about it. When we lost net neutrality, all the ISPs came out and said, oh, don't worry, we would never do these horrible things to you that you're all afraid of now that net neutrality has been lost. By the way, now they're doing it. Comcast already came out and said in 2021 they're instituting new data caps for all the common customers, and everyone's going to get charged extra money if they go over said caps. Everyone right now is living a digital life from home because of COVID. Kids are not going to school. They're doing digital classes, which are eating up bandwidth, and now Comcast is going to put a data cap where if you exceed it, they charge extra money. You see how fucked up this is? So we're in a situation where gaming is advancing at light speed, right? Better graphics, giant file sizes, but we don't have the means to really support that. Me, I'm lucky. I live in a part of the country where I can get the business level Comcast internet, even though I'm residential. This is not a business, I'm not in a business area. I'm in a residential area, but I'm able to get this kind of good internet even in my house. Not everyone can do that. So how would you support downloading 100 gigabytes on launch day for Cyberpunk if it takes, 4 days to download the game? You see? It's a problem. It is a problem. Okay. Let's see here. Big Bad Buffoon took me $1, said, although Bugsnax wasn't advertised as a kid's game, it's enough to fool any parent. It's the same situation years ago with Conker's Bad Fur Day. It came out and all the adults wanted to sue. Well, yeah, I don't know how Conker's Bad Fur Day was marketed either. Bugsnax, if you actually watch the advertising for Bugsnax, all right, it's accurate to what's in the game. But the game is actually a mystery thriller. You wouldn't know that unless you actually watched the whole trailer for it and or you actually played the game, then you understand the game's a mystery thriller. It is not a cutesy kitty Pokemon game. It has the premise of that, but that's the facade that hides the sinister thriller mystery behind the scenes of the game. You see? So, and by the way, some people are like, oh, well, the game's rated E. That's because the people who rated it didn't actually play the whole game. All they did was they played it at, what they do is they play a little bit of it, and then they get some suggestions of parts of the game that would be considered the most risque parts of the game. So they probably said, well, there's no blood in the game at all, right? The only way that you die or Bugsnax die is that they explode into like goo. So it's kind of cartoony in that way. There are relationship themes. Some are straight, some are homosexual, some are, there's one person who's actually, it seems to possibly be a transgender person in the game, but you can't really tell. It's never really discussed, which is fine. Who cares? But, you have these issues that are not necessarily common to a standard video game. Then, I don't want to spoil the end of the game, but at the end of the game, there's very big plot twists that actually are very dark, sinister, and basically horror. If a kid played this game and actually beat it, they may be fucking traumatized. And I'm not exaggerating. A kid could legitimately be traumatized by this game if they actually get to the end of it and beat it. But did the review people actually play it that far? No. They probably played the first hour of the game and then they just received generalized information from the game makers. And they based their E for Everyone rating off of that. That game, in reality, should probably be teen. It should actually be rated T for teen. Because of the mental health, depression topics that are actually discussed in the game as part of it. And then the ending, which actually is horror. So, yeah, it should not be a kid's game. Bleach number 9 to me dollars. If the Game Awards are nothing but corporate garbage, why keep talking about it? Aren't you giving it more attention by talking about how bad they are? See, here's the thing. I wouldn't. But the thing is that all the major gaming trends and circles are talking about it. It's like, it doesn't matter what you personally believe. When you're a content creator, you got to follow what's going on out there in the public. And right now, like everyone, Last of Us 2, Last of Us 2, best game of the year, Last of Us 2. It's like, what the fuck are they even talking about this game still for? Why did they just release a second trailer for a game that's been out for 6 months? Right? It doesn't make any sense, but this just happened. This is what's happening in major gaming trends right now. You know? So you have to, what am I supposed to do? Put my fingers in my ears and ignore it? No, I'm going to talk about the gaming news stories that are going on. Dr. Ratchet02 did a 145-bit cheer and says, my personal opinion, Animal Crossing should win Game of the Year. It's the one game this year that people everywhere enjoyed. And you know what? Fair enough. You've got a point. Animal Crossing was the best-selling Nintendo game, like, ever. The timing of that game came out right at the beginning of the pandemic. And so many people who normally would not play video games were stuck at home because of the pandemic, bought and enjoyed Animal Crossing. All right? Now, I was one of the people. I was playing Animal Crossing a lot. You guys remember, I had chill streams of it all the time. I was right there. But I'm going to be honest with everyone. Animal Crossing, in my opinion, is a game that does not really have longevity. I played it many months and enjoyed it, and when they added new content, I played it and enjoyed it. I barely played it in the month of October for Halloween. I did not play it at all in the month of November for Thanksgiving. We're in Christmas month right now, and I'm still not playing it. And guess what? Neither is my wife, and my wife was the biggest fan of the game. She loved the game earlier this year and was all about it. She was playing it constantly. On my Switch, she loved this fucking game. And even she's not playing it anymore. She got bored of it. And that's, I think, the problem with Animal Crossing is it's really cool for a chill experience, especially if the beginning of COVID, everyone's stuck at home and everyone's like, wow, here's a game that's not very, how do they say? There's not a lot of challenge. There's not, it's very, it's easy to jump in entry level. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to jump in entry level. But at the very same time, it's not complex enough of a game that I don't feel that it retains long-term gameplay. You know what I mean? Right now, I really don't feel like going back and ever playing it because I don't think there's much going on in the game besides the same kind of shit that happens in it all the time. It's a good time waster game, but after you've been there, done that for many months, you're like, what else am I going to do in this? Right? By the way, Crazy Dream, I believe you're here today because I did see you in the chat. Did you tip me this morning? I got to do a tip audit, live tip audit, because I just received a tip in your name, and I want to know if it's really you or not, or if it's someone is impersonating you. Okay? So if you could let me know if that's really you or not, I would appreciate that. Okay. Eternal Napalm just cheered and said The Last of Us Part 2 was nowhere near as good as the first game. Gamers rarely mention that fact because it was so disappointing. It goes to show how much the media controls the narrative to control the people, and at this point, it's just pathetic. I mean, it's funny that you say that because everyone, like I said, has gone into this fervor this year about how Last of Us 2 is like the best game ever of the generation. It's like, wait a minute, but you're telling me that it's actually better than the first game? No one says that. No one will talk about that. You're right. You'll never hear that. Crazy Dream, I see you just said you're here. Did you tip me? I just saw you speak, so I know you're here on the stream. Did you tip me this morning, or is this someone impersonating you? Please answer, so I can actually fucking Figure out if I need to refund this or not. Okay. Major Riot cheered, and he says, has no patience for subtlety. He wants Chef Boyardee immediately in large quantities. That's correct. All right, Crazy Dream says, nope. He did not tip. All right. I knew it. I felt it was going to be fake. You know, Crazy Dream does support with subs and stuff, but he does not usually tip. So, what a shocker. A fake tip this morning? What a shocker. All right, so let me take care of that, and then we'll continue on. We got a lot more shout-outs to get to. Night of the DSP Republic did a 50-bit cheer. He says, did you watch the G4 Holiday Special Reunion? No, I never watched G4 back in the day, so why would I watch the G4 Holiday Special Reunion on YouTube? That'd be kind of silly, wouldn't it? Eternal Napalm cheered. He says, I purchased a Mazda 3 brand back in 2010. The time has come to purchase a new vehicle. I'm looking at the Mazda CX-5 and Acura RDX. Both are crossover SUVs. It's fun shopping. What's your favorite automobile manufacturer and car? I don't have one. I'm not a car guy. I've never been a car guy, ever. And, you know, so for me, it's something that I basically don't know anything about and wouldn't be able to speak to. So I'm definitely not going to. Randy O. Butternub, are you here today and did you tip me? I believe you are here. I believe I see you talking in the chat. So I believe this probably is a legit tip, but I want to confirm again, since I just got one fake tip. I want to see if this really is a real tip before I give it a shout out, okay? Please tag me and let me know in the stream chat. Eternal Napalm cheered again and said, Bookstacks have better characters and better writing than The Last of Us Part 2 and a better story. The characters in Bookstacks were likable and have charm. I agree with you. All right, thank you, Randy. He did tip. I appreciate that. Again, I apologize. I always have to check Randy because, you know, you do the anonymous checkout deal. If you could not do that, if you actually would have a registered PayPal account, I'd be able to recognize you moving forward and I wouldn't have to keep asking you. But thank you for the tip. So he tipped me $10. Says Sony is teaming up with Microsoft to help with their cloud gaming services, so Sony would be using Microsoft's cloud tech. I'll have to see what happens with that. I mean, my honest opinion is I hope it works. I would love it if we didn't have to download shit. But we need to have internet that works, and we just don't have internet that's good enough for it yet, I don't feel. Okay? Okay. Continuing on. Where the fuck? What is... I'm trying to find it. Okay, Guitar Player 1939 did a 245-bit cheer, so I can't wait to watch you kill some kangaroos in Call of Duty. What? I don't even know what that means. How would I kill kangaroos in Call of Duty exactly? I'm lost there. Thank you for the 245-bit cheer, by the way. Appreciate that. Okay. Oh, I know what you're saying. People jumping around like assholes. Now I get it. I don't understand my own reference. There you go. Alexander Rossi cheered. He says, yeah, go ahead and ignore the trolls. Doesn't literally impersonating a creditor cross a line. Isn't that a massive felony? Yes. It's a crime. Absolutely. Impersonating a creditor, all right, absolutely is a crime. Sending false information to people involved in a bankruptcy investigation that is not vetted information with fact, but it's conspiracy, is actually a crime. It is. Many things that happen to me are crimes. Let's face it. Tipping me with fake stolen credit card numbers is a crime. These are all crimes that people are committing. But they think that they can get away with them because they're on the internet. That's the sad fact about life on the internet, man. Paladin in the DS Parmy cheers. How do you feel about the so-called ironic viewers, and have you considered implementing stricter moderation? Loving Yakuza. I don't care about ironic viewers. Let them do whatever they want. Am I gonna impose stricter moderation? No. But the moment that these people break the rules, they're gonna get moderated like everyone else. Tentacle 2070 tipped me $5. And even though I'm disappointed you're not playing Sackboy, anything you play is entertaining. And it should be great, so it's okay. I rolled one up and ready to enjoy this weekend stream. Keep up the work and keep rocking with Jasper and Kat. Thank you, Technical. Now, here's the thing. I didn't say I'm not playing Sackboy. I said I'm not playing Sackboy now because I don't feel that Sackboy is a $60 game. I think it's a huge ripoff. and they're taking advantage of the fact that it's a launch title for PS5 to dramatically overcharge for the game. They are dramatically overcharging for the game. It should probably be $30 to $40. So I'm going to wait for a price drop, and then I'm going to get it. And I guarantee you, it's definitely going to drop in price. I guarantee it. I absolutely guarantee it will drop in price. Okay. By the way, I think that was a fake tip. I don't even think that was real. I'm almost positive that was a fake tip. Because Technical is a frequent tipper. And that was not them. I'm pretty sure. So I think it's another tip I need to refund. It looks fake. Yup. Oh my god. You see, guys? So do you understand? I hope you guys understand now. How frustrating this is for me. Because how can I even tell what's real and what's not? It was real? Okay, thank you, Technical. Alright, good. Thank God. It's getting hard for me to tell what's real and what's not. Here's what I'm going to recommend, and I'm going to have to start saying this on every stream now, okay? If you're a frequent viewer of mine and a fan, and you're thinking of contributing regularly with tips, do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Make a registered PayPal account, okay? Because what's happening here is people are, people are doing these fake tips in people's names, okay? And I can't keep track of it. If you have a registered account, it'll actually say verified account. And then if it's a verified account, I know it's real. If you're doing these anonymous checkout tips, right? There's no way for me to verify if it's real or not. And I'm going to have to sit here constantly asking the viewership, is this real? Is this real? I don't want to do that. I just want to play games. I want to have a fun discussion. I don't want to have to keep verifying that, all right? So if you're a frequent viewer of mine, and if you are someone who supports my content, okay, please consider registering a PayPal account. That way, I can see if it's real on the fly. I don't have to do these audits. Fair enough? Okay. Timbo Slice Cheers, what's your go-to Chinese food place? Mine's orange chicken, white rice, and crab meat rangoon. I like chow mein. I think chow mein is quite good. So, maybe a chicken chow mein, or there's actually this place near me that does a chef's special chow mein. This guy is an authentic Chinese chef who came over here and started his own business. He had an initiative to start his own business in America. And he does a chow mein that has all kinds of shrimp, chicken, and beef, I believe. All in it. It's crazy good. I would say that's probably my go-to Chinese food. Timbo Slice cheered again. He says, pre-downloaded Cyberpunk, started on Xbox today. Got mine downloaded. Seems like after 7 years, the wait is over. I mean, are you shocked? Of course. The game was eventually going to come out. Rubly Atomic cheers. I feel like Last of Us 2 is a fantastic, well-written game. If they released the third game, would you play it because of your opinions? I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. The Last of Us 2 left an impression on me in all the wrong ways. When I play a game, I want to be left with an impression of, wow, I really enjoyed it. It was unique. It was fun. It really felt like a good use of my time. And I'm happy that I played it because it felt like I had a unique, entertaining, and fun experience. That's not what I had when I played The Last of Us 2. To me, and I said this during the playthrough, when I got to a certain part in the plot, actually continuing the game was painful. I wanted to stop playing because the plot was so fucking poorly written and just so made to make you feel miserable. I didn't want to continue. I have enough stressful, miserable stuff going on in my real life on a daily basis. I don't need to now give myself virtual misery too. I play a game for fun, to enjoy it. I was not enjoying myself playing the game anymore. That's bad. Now, if you're going to tell me The Last of Us 3 is going to be more of the same, I don't know if I want to play it. I'm sure my viewers are going to want to see me play it because they know that I was so honest about The Last of Us 2. They want to see that same kind of honesty for me to play a third game in the series, right? And Neil Druckmann will be in charge of the next game because he got promoted over The Last of Us 2. So it's likely just going to be more of the same. It would basically be, for me, toughing through it just for the sake of reviewing it and being honest with you guys, because how many people actually are honest about this game, right? So, for me, I might play it, but I probably wouldn't enjoy it. Put it that way. If it's more of the same. If he changes it, and it ain't just fucking misery constantly, then maybe I would like it. But I don't know. See, I agree with Conversialist here. He says, he says, I'm sorry, the people who are doing fake tipping, they're getting their money's worth because it ends up being a shit show. You know, everyone goes crazy when you end up asking people if their tips are real. It's it's just the next thing after the vest streak, right? I mean, you're right, and I hate it. I don't like doing it. That's why I'm now appealing to everyone. If you're a regular on my streams and you're going to tip regularly to support my streams, please make a registered PayPal account, because I can see when a tip comes from a registered PayPal account versus one of these anonymous things, and that way I can know if it's real or not. Okay? Okay. Eternal Napalm Cheers says, glad you're enjoying PS5. I want to buy a PS5, but supply is non-existent. It'd be easier to score a date with Blake Lively than to find a PS5. It's impossible. It's like winning the lotto if to get one now. Unless you pay double to triple the value to a scalper, which obviously I do not support at all. People should stay the fuck away from that and not support that kind of behavior. Okay? Let's see here. Alright, some shout-outs. Shout-out to the top cheers of the week so far. We got Stinkin' Burrows in 10th place, Major Riot in 9th, Timbo Slice and Golden Colts tied for 7th, 50-Bit Bick in 6th, Liza for Soul in 5th, The Hated One in 4th, The Witness by Adam Jones in 3rd, Rob on Wheels in 2nd, and Rosalina Flower in 1st. Itchy. Ah. Sub-gifters. Thank you to the following people who gifted subs to the channel this week. Suave Super Mutant, I Buy Pepsi Max, Sir Spartan King, Overweight Guinea Pig, and McJuggernuggets 8 all had a gifted one sub to the channel, although I believe there are more people as well, but that's what shows up on the leaderboard. Thank you, guys. Tizwaz, Darkside Elon, Diocletian, each gifted 2 subscriptions to the channel. Internet Famous McCroy gifted 4 subs to the channel this week. And ladies and gentlemen, Wig Jr., an unprecedented 40 subs. I say unprecedented. Of course, there's precedent. People have gifted that many before. But that is a lot of gifted subs. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Wig Jr. 50-Bit Quan says, what's stopping people who are doing chargebacks from coming in here, creating an account, saying, hey, Phil, I've been a fan for 12 years, and then screwing you over anyway? Because when you make a registered account on PayPal, that links to your real bank account info. It's your actual identity. It's not an anonymous thing that's based on a credit card. It's actually your real info. And when your real info is linked, you get what's called verified purchase power. And if someone tries to do a chargeback against that, and I justify it and say, no, here's the data, I win those. That's the difference. If you come in here with a stolen credit card, and you put in a fake stolen credit card number as an anonymous tip, okay, I really have no leg to stand on with a chargeback. They could just say, well, unauthorized transaction, done. And I have no power to fix that. Okay? None. I have no power behind the scenes to fix that whatsoever. I'm fucked, basically, if it happens. Okay? But if someone comes in here, all right, and someone has a verified account, I get special protections because of that, you see? So that's why it's way more beneficial in that regard for me, for someone to have a verified account. That's why. Timbo Slice Cheers said, with the rumor of a more powerful Switch coming out sometime in 2021, do you feel that it will sell well, or has most of the people that wanted a Switch got one already and will not upgrade? There are people, let's face it, a lot of the people who are into Nintendo are into it just as much as, say, being into Apple, right? They are huge, ginormous fans, and therefore they will buy anything that's Nintendo no matter what. So if they make a new model of the Switch, that thing will sell like hotcakes anyway. Will every single person who has a Switch buy a new one? Likely not. I guess it would depend on the features. Are they going to say that it's going to run better than the original Switch? Like, for example, Age of Calamity, apparently by all reports, is an amazingly good game, but it runs like shit on the Switch right now. It's very choppy frame rate. if they sold a new Switch that had better performance, well, I think a lot of people would say, wow, that's cool. Go buy it, and now the games will run better on it, right? Kind of like PS4 Pro, Switch Pro, right? Probably everyone would buy it. I almost guarantee you people would buy a new Switch. Jethro's main cheer said Druckmann could have saved The Last of Us 2 with a great multiplayer like the first game, but they shunned it even though the fans have been begging for it. Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I just received a $100 tip from NDO103, and I know that this is legit. You want to know how I know it's legit? Because it's a registered PayPal account. Yeah. Thank you very much, NDO103, for a $100 tip. That is greatly appreciated. That means we hit the tips goal for today. Thank you for that so much. And that means that, yes, we'll have a vest poll going to determine what vest I'm wearing today for Yakuza. Awesome. Thank you so much, NDO. I also received a $4.20 tip from internet famous McCroy, who says, I've been a fan for over 12 years, but I'll screw you over anyway. Now, let's see if that's real or not. It is. It's real. Another real tip. You see the difference? Do you see the difference? I can say it's great. I don't even, that's awesome. Thank you guys for your support today. That's another $4 in tips. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, you guys are voting now on the vest. Awesome. Steven Seagull plays Galsiv just cheered and said, what do you think about PS5 Xbox scalpers? I've already said, 1,000,000% against the practice. It's incredibly fucked up that anyone would do that. And no one should be buying from scalpers, even if it's the only way. Even if it's the only way. All right? That you can do that to get it, don't get it that way. Wait, do not support that, or else that's just going to be the future. The future will be scalping. Timbo Slice G said, what happens if a verified account tries to block a transaction through their bank account? Well, first of all, I don't know. I don't think that's ever happened. But again, to clarify, when you have a verified account in PayPal, you have provided PayPal with all of your real-life information, your name, your address, a real email verified address, and a working bank account. Once that happens, if you commit fraud, you're actually in trouble for fraud, because it's not someone who stole someone's credit card number and anonymously used it over the internet and you can't track them down. In this case, all your real info is there, okay? So once all the real info is there and you tip me, if someone were trying to charge that back, I get protections via PayPal, okay? Versus the anonymous way, I get zero protections if it's actually a stolen credit card. That's the difference, okay? Ruby Atomic cheered, and he says, as an alternative to vests, would you use t-shirts? Like swapping t-shirts? If people really wanted that, I don't see why not, but at the same time, what would we do with t-shirt? What t-shirts, right? Okay? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break. I've got to use the bathroom. When I come back, it is time, that's right, folks, for Yakuza 7. Thanks for being patient. Take a brief break. I'll be right back, and then Yakuza 7 begins. See you in a few.